So meeting call to order, 6:02. Who's taking minutes? Someone's taking minutes?
Well, I'll have to jot some down, yeah.
Okay. Meeting call to order, and we have Michelle and Anthony. Take attendance. There you go.
Sue.
Here.
Donna.
I'm here.
Me, I'm here. Maureen.
That's good.
And Michael.
And Mike's here.
So first thing on the agenda is approve the minutes from the December 5th meeting. I already read them, so I'm good with them.
I read them. Make a motion to approve?
Second. All in favor? Aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0. The treasurer's report.
Okay, I don't wanna read these things out loud. Did say those numbers all right?
Yeah, you
That's,
could.
he wrote it differently.
No, I inadvertently didn't give you the cover sheet.
Okay.
My bad.
That's okay. I see our regular expenses that are paid, our assets, liabilities are here.
The only one is 5120 repairs and maintenance. Under near the bottom, up above total expenditures, 5120 repairs and maintenance for current year, 2023, 857.50. That's far higher than usual, and I have docs for Donna as to why that is. From impact fire,
Yeah.
that's one thing to look at.
Okay, what do we need to look at?
It's the alarm being set off by
So impact fire, yeah.
Saugus Community Television employees 3 different times and being charged for it.
So
FYI.
you guys are gonna have to get in touch with Laura and let her know they need to reimburse us $299. Here's the 3 bills. One was for $299. One was for $165, and the other one was for $165. This is when Jack comes
Jeff
through.
comes in and,
Right.
okay.
So that was, they've already been paid, but nobody caught it.
All right, so these have all gotta be paid by by Laura.
Yes, they have to reimburse us for that.
That's the only abnormality on this, Maureen. That's why I pointed it out for you.
By Historical Club, Historical Society.
Other than that, it all looks in,
Yeah, everything else is
everything
standard
looks good to me.
from month
Okay,
over
so
month.
we have a motion to accept,
Second.
I would say.
Yeah. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The only thing on the treasurer's report for this month that I won't get to tell you, I've already worked with Wendy and the money's been appropriated for Q3. And
Yes.
it's in the bank already. FYI.
Okay, so
So
we've
that-
received the money.
Yeah,
all
she sent
set.
us an email. It's in the email.
And will she automatically reach out to us for fourth quarter? Do we have to contact her, and do you know when?
Yeah,
Do you usually do it?
I do it day 3 or 4 of the quarter,
Okay,
beginning of the quarter. So Q4 would start in April, so call April,
give her a few minutes.
whatever the Friday of the first week of April, you email her. She'll do it fairly quickly.
I think you need to give her more than minutes.
Yeah, well, days and, call Wendy. Okay,
So before we go further, just staying with the treasurer stuff,
yes,
I just signed the agreement with Ryan and Katja to do our tax returns.
okay.
That's the copy, and this, the original's getting mailed.
Okay, and that was this. Was that,
No, this
No,
is what's
no,
called an
that's
engagement
different.
letter from Ryan and Kasha to start
Okay.
our tax returns. I've already begun some of the back end work that he asked for, Mr. Griffith there, and he's already received it, I believe, with you on the email,
Yep,
as well as maybe Deborah.
Deb's on it too, yep.
Okay, so
That's
what,
different than this. This is the
That's-
tax returns. This is engaging them to do the tax returns
okay,
for
that's,
this year.
that's what we're hiring him.
Yeah.
Hiring them.
Yeah.
And we don't have a problem with that. So now, once you sign that and you send it back, then what has to be done? He just has to get all the
They'll get in touch
paperwork.
with us. They'll get
Okay.
in touch with us. And if he'll send it to the studio, I'll make sure. The other loose end is the $400 that the Saugus Historical Society pays us for rent every year. I believe the check is sitting in the
It's in the safe, has to
It
be
needs to get
deposited.
deposited.
Okay,
They have to give us that every year. You guys know that. It's in the agreement.
okay.
Okay?
And we'll figure out who.
So we're on to old business. Town hall connectivity. Take it away.
Well, as of right now, the past few meetings that we've had, no issues whatsoever. So that's obviously good news. Again, we will still maintain testing it regularly. If it goes, say, longer than a week we're not over there, we'll go over and check it out just to make sure everything's up to par. But I don't see it really giving us any persistent problems, if anything. I mean, there's always the chance that we might get something that pops up, but I don't think it's going to affect the broadcast or anything in a way that would necessarily. And we can still revisit upgrading the Wi-Fi over there. I know that they've been dragging their feet a little bit on that, but we should be able to at least get an answer from them now that we're into the new year.
All right.
So has Patrick hasn't reached out to you at all?
I have not received any word from Delphi, and from what I heard, it's pretty common. So
Okay.
yeah,
And plus with the holidays.
yeah, and that's what I figured. I figured now everybody's got their burdensome time allotments taken care of, so
You have found that the Cat 6 cable has helped over the Cat 5.
tremendously, like a night and day difference. Even when we jump from camera to camera, there would be a slight delay. The delay seems to be gone. I don't know if you've noticed that as well, but
Awesome.
and I think that's what it was. I think we were doing a lot of camera changes, and that adds to like the amount of data that it's transmitting. And I think we just created a bottleneck. And I think that was one of the issues that we may have had, was just that we were sending too much information through a Cat 5 cable. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed that, it stays as well performing as it has. So
I have watched some of the selectmen meetings, some of the other meetings on video. Have not heard that noise, have not heard that feedback, nothing.
the only thing that we did hear from the selectmen was that they still can't hear themselves.
Do they need a lesson on how to use the microphone?
I don't
I mean,
think that's it.
I know that's a bad-
I honestly think it
that's
might be
terrible to say.
hearing issues. Because I've tested it there, and it's not muddy. It's loud enough where I can hear it downstairs. So I think what I'll do is maybe at the next meeting I'll be over there, and before everybody goes live, we'll just make sure that they can hear themselves as they need to.
Because I know it's.
And if I gotta boost it up a little bit, I'll do that.
When I
But-
was up there last time, when I was up in December, as I'm talking to them, I could tell that they couldn't hear each other. But then, like, the microphone was here, and they're here. So Donna keeps pulling it closer, and I don't know if Deb keeps pulling it closer. I don't know if that's the only way.
Well, I mean, if you do pull the mic closer, sometimes it does get a little more muffly.
Okay.
But I think the issue that they're having is that multiple are talking at the same time, or talking over each other, and I think that's making it harder for them to hear themselves. But like I said, the test that I've done, I mean, I can hear everything fine no matter where I am. So I want to definitely go over that with them at least once more time to make sure that they feel comfortable.
Okay. So when is the next meeting over there? Oh,
I
sorry.
believe it's 2 weeks. Not this next week, but the week after.
Check. I don't think they've actually given us a schedule, so I have to reach out to Janice.
But but I'd say within the next 2 weeks, for sure.
I'll call her tomorrow and make sure she sends us the schedule of the next few meetings.
So when this sound issue originally came up like 5 or 6 years ago, Brian's solution was, it's the acoustics in the town halls, nothing you can do about it. His solution was a dome behind them, behind their table, so that the sound comes down.
So
on
that
them.
there is 2 speakers. That was one of the things that we added on to the sound rack at the end, was we added a second amp for 2 speakers that sit basically, if you're on the edge of the stage, they're on the 2 corners of the molding around the stage. That's where they're mostly hearing themselves from. Beforehand, they weren't hearing themselves at all.
Okay.
So they are hearing themselves from behind. That's where, I guess, I don't know if they need to be like positioned a little bit better, but from what I see, everything looks to be fine, and I'll just make sure that.
But they still can't hear themselves, so everything isn't fine. They can't
Well,
hear themselves.
yeah, and I want to see where they're not hearing themselves, because I can't duplicate it. That's what
Yeah.
I'm basically saying.
Because I think it's important that they can hear themselves,
Right.
hear each other. But that was Brian's solution, because Brian had gone back and forth to a bunch of different studios, and that was what he came up with. So I don't know.
And I think that was before that they noticed that there was speakers hiding behind the curtains, because that was initially the problem. Is where the curtains peel back, it sits right on the speakers. So the speakers now are a little bit angled out past the curtains. So.
Okay. But it hasn't. They still can't hear each other. So.
Yeah, and I don't, and like I said, I don't have a reason for that, because I can hear it, and so.
It's hard to duplicate that same issue.
And that's why I want to get them all there before the meeting, and then we'll just do it.
Or at least 2.
Because like I said, if I got to just boost it up a little bit for them and have it be, ringing loud in there, then we'll do that. You know. I just try to keep it to a non-earth shattering volume level.
Dull roar.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, so we're all set on the connectivity?
So then we'll look into this.
And the next meeting is the 23rd.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Okay. So your presentation on the focus plans for the future while we're filling the vacancy. Go.
Well, I just want to firstly start off with the monthly report. Because I think Rachel, the last meeting was in early December, so there was no monthly report for November or December. So in November, we had 13 town municipal meetings, 12 studio productions, and that includes kitchen, studio, or podcast. 26 members came to the studio to edit or film or assist with different productions. 4 sports games. It was the end of the fall season, so it was a little light. 1 soccer banquet, 5 special events, which were the Christmas Tree Festival, the Hammersmith Quilt Show, which we got a thank you card for what Anthony had put together for that.
Nice.
Election night coverage with Andrew Whitcomb. Veterans Day event at the Belmonte School, and then the Veterans Day ceremony. We had 13 miscellaneous meetings. That includes tours, the podcast class.
How'd that go?
That went well. John taught that class. Laura Eisner from the Historical Society attended, as well as another one of our student volunteers. So it was a nice little intimate class session.
Yep.
And learning the podcast, how to use the podcast room.
Now, is that something that I'm not actually familiar? Did we record that as well, or did we just?
No, it was just
Okay.
John taught the class.
I think going forward, it might be a wise idea
Well, yeah,
to
we
kind of
have
keep
discussed
that down, so then we can use that as programming as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And then in December, we had 7 town municipal meetings, 4 productions, that's studio and podcast. 16 members visited. There was 11 sports games because winter season started, so Anthony has been very busy, as well as Clark. 3 special events, which those were the Christmas tree lighting, Troop 62 Eagle Court of Honor, which Maureen filmed, and the menorah lighting ceremony. And that also includes 2 little miscellaneous meetings, and we have a new member. Ercole is his name. He came to visit us in December, and he wanted to start. He wanted to rent out the studio, and we're like, "What do you actually want to do?" And he was like, "I want to make a show." I'm like, "Oh, you could just become a member." And he's a senior, so free membership.
Nice.
And
That's I know that's him.
So he was very excited to come in. We spent some time with him, just giving him a tour of the building. Very excited to work with us, and actually he came back today to fill out the rest of his form and turn it in. So
Andy brought us a Panettone.
yes,
So
yes he did.
I was gonna say, he knows the way to our hearts, you know.
Yeah, so what's the show about?
Still unclear. Like, he's still kind of working, but he's interested in like politics and stuff like that. So we're like, you could do a show about that. You could interview other people from the town or whoever your friends are. And so he was very excited. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
I have a feeling it's gonna be like a local soapbox from the eyes of Ercole. You know what I mean? So I think it could be
What is
cool.
his name?
Ercole.
Ercole. Really?
He said it's the
Hey.
Italian version of Hercules.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. All right, I was thinking Eric. I wasn't even thinking that. But maybe he might be able to, and I don't know if this is something, but where you said he was a senior, cover maybe some of the senior events or some of the events coming up in the spring
I believe he did
for the school. Like, that would be awesome.
Like senior citizen.
How old? So he's not, you said a senior, right? I was
No,
assuming a senior
no,
kid. Okay.
No, the free membership.
Well, he might be
is-
able to do some of the senior citizen
Yes,
center stuff.
He did say that
You can line it up
intends-
anyway, you know? Why not?
Exactly. No,
Amazing.
he talked about going to the senior center a lot, and he knows a lot of the people there. So
Yeah, they have activities.
Oh, yeah.
They do a lot of activities there.
exactly.
Laurie does a really good job.
Yeah, she really does. There was a huge party there today. Matter of fact, I heard.
Oh, sure.
I didn't go, but
I didn't even. Okay,
So,
so that's that's this meeting
Yes.
notes. So then we would be back to staff presentation for you.
Yeah. So we've been, Anthony and I have kind of been operating as, interim, as you guys had said during the Board of Selectmen meeting. We split up a lot of the duties that Rachel left us. And just kind of making sure everything just keeps running.
I think we've all figured out which loose ends we're all responsible for, and we've kind of taken the ball and run with it. So
you're in the groove. You guys got a groove.
yeah,
going.
we definitely got a system down, and it's working. So
Okay. Awesome. All right.
No issues have come up.
no,
I mean, you're doing most of the administrative work. You're doing most of the technical work.
correct,
Plus, you're doing your work and you're keeping up with that.
correct.
I mean, to me, that's a good temporary solution.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't keep going at that rate.
No.
Yeah, no,
you're
I mean,
not.
I was gonna say, I mean, it's definitely
Temporary.
yeah, but I think that we've at least figured out which our strengths and weaknesses are, and we're kind of just going with that, going with the strengths, and if someone can pick up on the weakness, then there we go.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
are you putting in overtime, or is it pretty much just the 40 hours that you?
We try not to do any overtime because you guys, it's only
Yeah.
40 hours. We'll take
Right.
off on the next week or something if we go a little over.
So all three of you are doing the 40 hours and not. Wow, that's pretty good. That you guys are able to do
yeah,
that.
I pride myself on my time management. Sometimes I know where to take and where to pull from, so
Good.
been able to make it work for sure.
Excellent.
even when these sports games go an extra 45 minutes with timeouts for the last, half of the game, but we're making it work.
Good.
So.
All right. So if we're all set, we have to close the public meeting and go into private session to discuss the employees' wages.
Take out of order. Since
Okay.
we have
That's right, yeah.
Oh, the vacancies and hiring.
Employee wages.
Oh, okay.
should we continue?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If we continue with citizens' comments or any of this, and then we go into closed session. then I
Okay,
think
all right.
That would be,
Yeah.
So we'll go
I think
out
you
of
just have
order.
to vote to take it out of order. I think.
Yeah. So, motion to take it out of order from what's on the agenda, and we're going to go to citizens' comments. We have 3 citizens in the audience
second the
today. Do-
motion.
Is that microphone on?
All in favor?
Aye.
You guys have any?
Andrew Whitcomb, 212 Essex Street, apartment 102. Assuming you
Speak
guys
into
can
the
hear me.
microphone, we can't hear you.
Who's in there?
If I just wanted to say, because we mentioned it, the election night coverage this year went great. I'd like to thank Michelle and her whole team, as usual, for taking such good care of me and Steve. I think the whole broadcast went great. Everything I've seen from that night, and honestly, everything since came out nice too. The Christmas tree lighting was wonderful, and everything else. That's it for me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. Mark, do you want to introduce yourself, or
Come on.
come on down?
Good evening. I'm Mark Stevens, 30 Hamilton Street, apartment 21. I watch a lot of the cable, and there's been some great programming I have never seen before. I really enjoyed the Eagle Scout program. That was different. I'd never seen anything like that before. And some of the other programming that's come about in the last couple of years has just been really great for the community to experience, not being able to be there, but still experience what's going on in the community. So I really enjoy the cable TV. I watch it a lot myself. It's come a long ways in the last few years with the beautiful studio you have here, and if there's any way in the future that I can be of any help, I have expressed an interest about becoming a board member, and I'm here to help in any way I can. And I want to thank you all for the amount of time you've spent to make Saugus Cable a very quality program. It's a high quality programming. You've all done a great job over the last several years. And that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, board member comments?
The only thing I was gonna mention was just Mike's transition and the paperwork, and that may be something that we don't discuss here, just turning everything over for when he finishes.
It's all here.
Okay, see, that, I told you it
He's
was
10
easy.
steps ahead of us.
I know, he's so good.
Always
He
is.
really is.
Yeah.
He really is. That's it. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Go put the
meeting
link.
adjourns at 6:25.